All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and in doing so, accept a agenda. A motion to accept the agenda for today.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion to accept our agenda for August 25th, 2021. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, 2-0. Good morning, everyone. This meeting will be conducted in compliance with the governor's executive order modifying the open meeting law regulations for remote participation. If you are trying to join us, I guess by phone, you can dial in at 1-929-205-6099. There is an entering a meeting ID number of 837-7364-3971, and when prompted for the meeting ID number, press pound and then enter the passcode, which is 513224. Other than that, you might be on a Zoom meeting, and that meeting number happens to be the same number, but I'll repeat it, and that's 837-7364-3971. And the passcode is 513224. That being said, we have minutes from our July 27th, 2021 meeting. And we had a chance to review them. Todd?
I have. I will move to accept the meetings from the July 27th meeting.
All right. Motion made for the acceptance of the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
It's 2-0. And now we have on our agenda new business. This is an update for the Board of Assessors on the 2022 inspections. Joe, is that you?
Actually, it's Jackie and Joe. Jackie's right here in the room.
Jackie and Joe.
And I want to first off tell you that we got a lot of inspections done since our last meeting, hundreds of inspections. And I want to thank Jackie for assisting me. Couldn't have got the volume or the quality of the inspections done, as well as the data input. The field part is like half the job. The other half is entering it in correctly. We check each other's work, and we're all caught up on inspections. All the sales from 2000 have been inspected.
From 2000 to 2020.
Yeah, 2020. Well, we inspected the old ones too. No, I'm just kidding. 2020, they were all inspected. The permits prior to July 1st, other than the month of June, have been inspected. We do have a few permits that we are going to recheck that were inspected at the very beginning of this process, just to see where they are, but that's a minimal amount of work in the field. Shortly, we'll begin working with our consultants, PK Consulting, to crunch out the numbers and produce preliminary fiscal 22 assessments. So that will begin after Labor Day, and it will probably be the third week in September that I can start presenting the ratio studies and the preliminary values to the board. But we're on schedule. This week is data entry, also taking a look at the future, looking at the 2021 calendar sales, just to see if that data is accurate, mostly from MLS. But we do have that new tool, Nearmap. We're able to sketch properties from the office. So we're using technology right now, but nothing is better than the field. And we'll get back out in the field probably next week.
And Joe, that Nearmap software is working well for you?
Yes, it's actually, it's excellent. It confirms a lot of things. And once you put the overlay of the line, because sometimes there's questions, especially on large parcels, there may be a shed or something tucked in the corner and you're not sure which property that belongs to. So going back to the office and just checking with the property line overlay helps clear up a lot of those types of things. And, you know, our measurements, thankfully, they're our data is pretty good. I haven't made too many major changes at all. And it's also good to, while we're inspecting, we are picking up some pools and sheds, some decks and things like that, but it does save us a lot of time.
Hey, Joe, do you, obviously the assessor's maps electronically keep getting updated. Does the actual hard copy, the one that's out in front of our office, your office, does that get updated also?
Yes, once a year. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the next steps. First, getting the permanent inspections done for new growth purposes, and all of the sales inspected for the calendar year 2020 for fiscal 22. That's priority one. We've already worked with all of the splits and subdivisions, so that work has been done and entered into the system. Now it's a matter of getting that transferred onto the new assessor maps, both paper and electronic. That will happen as well within the next week or so, and that's about a 30-day turnaround.
I asked that because I know in the past, and Todd, I'm not sure whether you and Steve had one, but I've had an older assessor's map, but this was a condensed one. It wasn't the large one that's, that's, I don't know, 4 feet.
300 pages, yeah.
It's a reduced one. I was going to say that could be helpful for you and for Steve and myself. Joe, if we can maybe talk about that later.
Absolutely.
I know it's a smaller one. It's about.
Yes, I have one. I have one. I haven't got it reproduced in the last couple of years. The one I have is the last hand-drawn set of maps, but it's about a third of the size of the large maps that are out front. We keep it right in the car. Just once in a while, there's a property tucked away. You can't quite find how to get to it. But it's a good representation when you're looking.
Yes, no, and that if they've updated, I was thinking maybe that, I know it would be helpful for me as a board member, and I Steve probably you, Todd. I mean, it's just sometimes helpful to take a look at the map as opposed to going online. So just curious about that.
What I'll do is I'll get a price from Western Maple Graphics. We have 72 sheets. So they've done it before. So they, I don't imagine it's cost prohibitive whatsoever. And if it is, we'll get one set and reproduce it in-house.
Great. I'm happy to pay for it if need be.
No. It's something the board should have, along with, some data as far as the proposed assessments and things like that. I like to present that to the board with the ratios, the changes in value. And that way you can see what areas may be increasing more than other areas of town. I mean, obviously values are going up this year. There's a few areas that probably are going up a little bit more than others, but I don't see any tremendous shifts in value. But that's just, talking from the point of view of the work we've done so far. The real work is to come. The data now is updated. Now it's time to crunch the numbers and look at the ratios and make land and building adjustments according to what the sales are telling us to do.
Yeah, no, it's what I'm hearing is there's a slight beginning to a cool down right now going on, but I'd be willing to bet the past 5-6 months numbers have been going skyrocketing with values. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, the ratios have dropped about another 10%, which means the values have gone up 10% in the past 6 months. Jackie, one of her tasks, and God bless her, is to upload all of the deeds. That's something that she actually started. We used to get paper copies. Now she uploads them into our camera system, into PK, so that in the future, anytime we want to look at a deed, we don't have to go on the registry website. We have it right there attached to the property. And Jackie's been notifying me of 60% ratios and 65% ratios. And our target is kind of in the 95 range. So that just tells you that there's been a big change in the market. Some of it's due to data that we didn't have. So the first step, I look at MLS. A lot of times there's updated kitchens and baths, finished basements, finished attics, other things that may affect value. Not significantly, but we want to make sure the data is correct so that when we analyze the data, we're comparing apples to apples. That's it.
That's good. That's good. Sorry, guys. Let me try to shut this off. The phone's ringing. There we go. Any other new business? Todd, do you have anything?
No, John, thanks. Nothing from me really. Just getting back to school mode.
I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
2 weeks from today, where kids are back to school.
Yeah.
It's insane. Joe, Jackie, anything else?
No, that's about it.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we, Joe, if you can take, or Jackie, you can take a look, like I say, probably next month, we'd probably want to do another Zoom and then look to the month of October and maybe November or December as an actual meeting date in the office. Again, this is all conditioned on the numbers of incidents of COVID are not continuing to rise, but if they do, then we'll continue to do it via Zoom right now.
So with town meetings the 11th, correct? I believe it's October 11th.
I think you're right, Joe. I'm just trying to see on the calendar here. I believe it is. Is that the date that the selectmen selected?
I'm almost positive it's October 11th because
No, it can't be. It's Columbus Day. It must be maybe the 12th or the 13th. Or maybe they could do it on Columbus Day. I doubt they would, though. That's an actual holiday, right?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find out. Be the town clerk's office, correct?
Right.
I'm just trying town meeting. Let's see. Do I have a special? I don't have it listed yet. Not sure. Well, if that's the case, we should probably meet. Let's see. Traditionally, Todd, did you guys used to meet on like a Tuesday at the beginning of the month, mid-month, or late month?
Depends on the time of year, really. I mean, it depended on the work needed. I mean, I would like to meet before the town meeting, especially if anything on the warrant. Don't think we do we, Joe?
We don't, but there are two articles that I want to thank Nancy Hope for getting on the warrant through the Board of Selectmen. It was just to clean up a legal issue where currently people who defer their taxes cannot defer their water and sewer because of a lack of adopting a local option.
That's fine. And we can talk about all that in the executive session too.
Yep. But that's
to the point of needing another meeting. I totally agree, John. We should probably meet before whenever the next town meeting is. So I imagine let's meet in September for sure.
How about if we look at the 21st? That's a Tuesday.
Yeah, that
sounds good.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's plan on Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, so it's a Tuesday let's do it in the evening. I only say that because obviously this is the morning. If there's anybody who may be working, let's give them an opportunity to chime in at after hours. Maybe we could meet on the 21st if that works. So let's keep that play that by ear, Joe and Jackie. And then that way, like I say, Tuesday night's great. If somebody wants to address us, they can. Not that anybody does, but they have that opportunity. And last thing, I guess, with new business, with respect to the old business, did that issue that with the respect to the Norwell property, and I think it was, I want to say Arbor Way, but it's not, in the West End get resolved, Joe?
Yes, it's all resolved. The legal information is correct. It's in my double check pile, but it's initially correct as far as I recall, because we did it right after the meeting.
Good.
But I'm glad you mentioned it. We'll double check.
Well, other than that, then I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
There's nothing we need to discuss in executive.
No, nothing for executive. I want to make sure, what time would you like to meet on Tuesday? And is this going to be a remote meeting for Tuesday?
I would say at this point, why don't we plan on meeting our normal time, which typically is on Tuesdays would be 6:30 or 6:30. What's 6? Is that fine with you, Todd?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Why don't we plan on 6, September 21st? And if we end up finding that it's not prudent to meet together, then we can do it via Zoom. And if there's any issues with respect to town meeting, well, I'll make sure that we have that before the board members. I don't think there is, but if there is, let's go over it.
Okay. So Seth, this is going to be in person. So you're off the hook for this one so far.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
All right.
At that point, then I will submit a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Mr. Glowak. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
That takes care of it. Thank you very much, folks. Stay safe.